Good morning. What is it? Thursday morning. It's just gone about 7. I'm just in work at the moment, getting a few steps in, walking up to get a coffee before we start the day. Big day of training, which equals big day of fuel. So we've got a lot of food on the table today. So we'll just get up to the little latte spot. Gonna be a fun day. See you soon. They take good care of us from the girls at Little Latte. Shout out to them. Strong, long black, but here's the secret. Add a splash of honey. Makes a world of difference, promise you. On our way back to work, and then we'll get stuck into some breakfast. Got porridge. The only downside with walking with a long black is that you get scolded by it all the time. It's like the walk of death. Cool. So porridge, and then just a serve of berries or fruit. You would notice that I keep my foods pretty consistent, especially on days of training. One, purely just for convenience, because there's so much going down. Like, I just don't want to have to think about what and stress about, what, getting variety and variability, because I know that across the day, I'm getting all different types of nutrition, and I'm covering all majority micronutrient levels as well as macros and enough calories for training as well. So this is all pretty regular, just to stop me from thinking about it, essentially. It's also like a cost thing too, like, buying oats and rice, things like that, like really cost-effective sources of food as well. We're not all millionaires, unfortunately, yet. But things like that, and then I'll have my chicken and rice later as well. That's sort of the reasoning behind it all. Being a big day as well, which means a lot of carbs is the main focus today. Obviously with enough protein and limiting fats a little bit until later in the day, just so that we can have adequate digestion. Porridge. Outside of that, we're just going to get stuck into a bit of admin work for hybrid. A lot of things going on at the moment here at work. We've got our first heat of our in-house fitness comp called Hybrid Hard. It's a 2-day fitness event that we host here. Day 1 being strength, and then day 2 being more cardio focused. So I've got a bit of work to do with that. I'm sort of looking after the nutrition side of things. So organising a fuel station for our competitors, ensuring that they've got enough fuel for the day. My focus in nutrition as well is a big thing, but yeah. Gosh. And another thing too, some exciting news. I recently just got accepted into my course as well, Master of Dietetics at Swinburne, which is really cool. It was not looking good at some stages. I'd had a couple of rejections and it wasn't looking like it was going to be working in my favour. But thankfully, one uni decided to give me a lifeline with it. So I'm really excited about that now, and I'm really looking forward to getting into that. We start next month, which is a quick turnaround for uni. So I'm in the process of just getting everything organised for that. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. I'm looking forward to learning as much as I can and expanding on my knowledge, which I'll take you guys through the journey as well with it. But really cool. Can't wait to come out the other end of it and have some good qualifications and being able to help and work with people on a more personal level and try and help them with their own personal health and wellness journey. I've understood that it's played a big role in my life, both professionally and personally. Really, really exciting stuff. We'll take you through the journey and the process of everything as well in future videos too, because I think it's really important that you guys experience that as well as me. First lot of clients done having a bit of a mid-morning snack. So we're just rolling with a bit of yogurt. Nice little peach nectarine, apologies. I'll plate this bad boy up and then show you the final product. Looky. Bit of honey on top, goes down a treat. And then also got my second cup of coffee for the day. That's good stuff. Bit of admin work before my next block of clients for the day, and then we're on my way to footy. So yeah, see you soon. Cool, clients are all done for the day. We'll just do a bit of admin top up before we wrap up, but for now I'm just gonna have my lunch break, which would be some chicken and rice. Gonna wrap up for the day and head to footy training. Gonna be a good one, it's gonna be nice and warm. So I'll start whipping up the bad boy now. Alrighty, lunch is served. Yeah, not the most aesthetic looking one, but to my point earlier, today's all about convenience, simplicity. Don't need to think about what I'm doing, what I'm eating, because I know it's going to be appropriate for what I've got later in the day. A lot of complex carbs with rice, got half a plate of spinach, as well as about 180 grams of roast or boiled chicken, one of the two. What I've been noticing that has been really helping me a lot is I've been working closely with my dietitians, and basically they've been giving me these little example plates. So if you guys know that a lot of the time the standard food guidelines are represented through plates now, as opposed to what there used to be with food pyramids. So essentially what they've been giving me is these things called athlete's plates. Now, they basically comprise the difference in how the actual plate or bowl is structured on day-to-day training. I've got a very heavy day of training / exercise versus a very low intensity day or even sedentary. Basically, the composition of the different types of foods will basically vary depending on the day. So example on today is a very high load training day. So majority of my plate will be portioned of carbohydrates in order to fuel me for exercise. If this was me consuming on a low day, it'd be very much a more veggie and colour and protein with moderate amount of carbohydrates because my energy requirement isn't as much as it would be today. I'll pop a example of these plates right here. And basically it'll just show you the difference in what the days look like. So for today from memory, it's about half a plate should be carbs, a quarter should be protein, and a quarter should be of some sort of colour vegetables. That's just going into a little bit of how I operate. It's the easiest format that I've really noticed that helps me, and it helps me just not stress about thinking about what I need to eat. I just know that I need to hit this amount on my plate of carbs, and then it gives you examples. So we're gonna eat this, finish up a bit of admin, and then we'll be on to training. Doing the trick. As you can see, the volume on this is quite big. If you guys remember from last week when I was talking about what I'm currently working through at the moment, trying to trim up a little bit, which has been working so far. I'm down about 1.5 kilos. So I had my appointment last week with my dietitian, and my skin folds came back a little bit better as well. And my body weight actually dropped as well. So there's like a bit of a correlation that if there's a decrease in my body fat index and my weight, it's indicative that my body fat percentage has gone down, or there's been some good weight loss. Now, not to say that all fat is bad. They are important in day-to-day function and human physiology, but a lot of it, the adipose tissue that is stored in the body isn't optimal or ideal, and that's what I'm trying to reduce a little bit at the moment. Working on voluminous foods at the moment, as you can tell. So yeah, I'll hopefully be a lot more full after this, and that'll keep me going until about training, so which I'll have a little pre-training snack prior to that. Work officially done for the day. So now I'm having my pre-training snack. It is, drum roll, it is. That is it. Exciting, I know what you guys are thinking. It's revolutionary and unreal stuff. But like I said, keeping things simple and convenient for me whilst I'm on the go. I'll be in the car for an hour, so I need something that's just gonna be quick and fast on the go. Literally, all I'll be doing, a little spray of that, and a couple of these, and that is pretty much it. So for anyone that might not understand, when it comes to training times and fueling windows, it's really important on the type of carbohydrate that you have. So everyone knows carbs give energy, especially during exercise, but as well, it's also really important that you're consuming the appropriate type of carbohydrate at a particular point in time before training. So as I approach a closer time training, I've got another hour or two before I get there. Simple carbohydrates, meaning ones that are more easily broken down. Example, rice cakes, honey, white bread, pancakes, all those types of sugars that are more easily digestible a shorter frame of time are going to be a more preferred source of energy. The porridge, the rice, those types of more complex carbohydrates take a longer time to digest and break down, which is why I will typically have them earlier in the day because I've got more time to digest them. As we approach to a closer time of training, that's when you sort of have those more simple sugars because they're just sort of topping up and giving you those quicker releases of energy. So that's the method behind it. You don't want to be overcomplicating things. One thing that I will mention that I've noticed a big difference in with when I have rice cakes or toast or things like that as a pre-training snack is the spreads are also really important too. So something like a honey, obviously I'm a huge fan of it, but one thing I used to consume a lot on top was a peanut butter or a type of nut butter, which it tastes really good and it's important to have. They're good sources of fats, but one thing I was noticing and learning a bit more in my studies is having those types of spreads before training can slow down the rate of absorption, meaning that I don't get the full benefit of the carbohydrates taken in. Because they are a fat, they are a preferred source of energy when your body is resting, not at exercise. So I've just opted to swap out the toppings for like a honey or a jam, stuff that's going to be a little bit more sugary. It's going to help with having a bit more energy, but it's also going to increase the absorption rate too. I'm going to eat these and then we're going to pack up and go to training. Stay hydrated too. There you got cutlery.
You got the spoon.
You want to fill in everyone what happened?
The ones that Hamish would drop at my house late at night without me knowing.
Oh, fuck.
I'm going back now, so I've got full default.
See yous. Love yous.
Love you.
Shit.
Evil, the guy with the shovel, the old man, but he turns out to be the best. Marley guy. Right?
So, just pulled up to the ground now. Going to get ready for physio treatment and prepare for training. So, look forward to seeing you out there. Last bit of fuel before training.
It's for Hamish.
Who's Hamish?
Training all done. We had a pretty big night on the track today. I think it's the second training session we've done this week, and it was 2 of them in a row now have been about 10 to 12 Ks each. So we're kind of at the peak of our pre-season before we start practice matches, so we can kind of get used to our load. But it's been a big couple of weeks. Body's feeling pretty good now. I'm getting a lot more confidence into it, and so hopefully come into some good pracky games and then set up for the season well. It'd be good to go into a season with having some games under my belt. I think the last season or two I've unfortunately missed it through injury, which is a bit of a shame, but really keen for the season coming up. I've been really looking forward to getting back on the track and getting stuck into the season. I think I've got a bit of a chip on the shoulder from last year, and I feel like I'm trying to prove myself a little bit more. So really looking forward to it. So now we're just going to head home, have some dinner, and then call it a day. We got an early start again tomorrow. I'll see you shortly for dinner. Hello bud. Mwah. This is what we're working with tonight. So we've got a nice home-style Mongolian beef. I'm also paired with a raspberry and blueberry flavoured mineral water. So excuse me. Oh, little taste test. Especially after a big day, like training and work and all that, like it's just nice to come home to a nice warm meal. It's good. The hard part though, with these kind of nights is like when we get home, it's like 9 o'clock, 9:30, sometimes even 10 or 10:30, depending on how late we get out. But the hard part is that in an ideal world, you would be finished earlier so that you could have dinner and then have time to digest. Whereas for us part-time professional athletes, yeah, I've been training later in the day, which means you finish late, which means that getting to bed later at times, and it can be hard to juggle with work or studies, things like that, because you have to get up early the next day, but then you've got to scoff down like somewhat of a decent meal in order to recover. This is probably the tricky part that I'm finding challenging at the moment, and I'm working with my dietitian and that to work around on the most appropriate method in order to consume food and recover and replenish after a big day, because like after doing 10 Ks of running, like it's a lot, but doing some bits and bobs. But something like this where it's good, there's enough carbs from the noodles, you've got some good cuts of beef. There's heaps of stir-fry veggie in it too. Broccoli, bok choy, all these really micronutrient dense veggies as well that are just going to be really beneficial for you as well. These are really handy. Another part that I personally struggle with as well is like getting to sleep after big nights like this. Really tricky. When you've just had a really intense block of training for like 3-4 hours, you're physically drained, but your brain's just so wired. So that's another part that's finding really challenging. What I've been trying to do in the past is use like a magnesium mixture, because there is some literature that supports it, but I think it's quite hit and miss depending on the type. But I feel like if you cover as many avenues as you can, you're probably doing yourself some good. I've also heard, we used to try tart cherry juice. That was a thing that an old dietitian used to recommend as well, which I think is more of a placebo effect. Like there is some literature behind it, but I don't feel like it did much for me, personally speaking. Everything comes down to winding down. Like if you're able to wind down, get off your phone, read, calm yourself down a little bit, then you sort of start to relax a little bit more, which hopefully you can go to sleep. The nighttime routine is probably the tricky part. So good. Okay, we're done for the day. It's 10:15. I'm buggered. We just showered up and done all the nighttime wind down. Yeah, so we're rolling solo tonight. Kayla's in the Philippines with some of her girlfriends, which is good for them. They're having a good time. So yeah, we're just chilling. We're just chilling on our own tonight. In that right, Codes. Yeah, just a boys' night, isn't it? Thanks for tuning in today, guys. Appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.